Every piece she picks up, just bam, bam, bam.
Oh, don't
missing.
Come on. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Let's go!
So
Oh,
close
they are cooking right now.
I am
puzzle.
gobsmacked. I am too. Is this at 1.5 speed right now?
Yeah.
There's 20 pairs in this room that could win this.
Hi everyone! Today's video is all about USA Jigsaw Nationals 2026. This is the biggest speed puzzling competition in the country. So today we're going to find out who are the fastest puzzlers in the entire USA. And after taking a year off from going and competing last year, this year I was back and I competed in all 3 events: individual, pairs, and teams. So here's a look at the competition schedule. So you can see we're gonna have a lot to talk about. But before I get into it, today's video is not sponsored. Similar recaps that I've done in the past have been sponsored by Ravensburger, but this year I decided to go as a free agent. Okay, so let's start with day 1. There were 4 individual prelims, and I was in the very first one. All right, it is day 1 of US Jigsaw Nationals. I'm about to do my individual preliminary round. I'm so nervous. I hope I do okay. I wonder what puzzle we're gonna get. I hope it's not super hard. Honestly, my only goals for today are to make it into the final and to finish the puzzle and to have fun.
Welcome everyone to the very first solo prelim of the 2026 USA Jigsaw Nationals.
Oh my gosh, this is it.
We are gonna get started in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, puzzle!
Oh, fun. Oh my gosh. So out of bags. Oh my gosh, we're so out of bags. Oh no, I almost left 2 pieces in the bag. I almost left 2 pieces in the bag. Oh man, so here is a look at the very first puzzle of this year's Nationals, and immediately we could all tell that it was very doable. When I competed in 2024, I got the awful plentiful produce in my prelim. And then last year, the first puzzle had that super hard flower border. But this one is bright and colorful and a pretty easy illustration. But if I'm finding it easy, that means that everyone else is gonna find it easy too. So if you're brand new to speed puzzling, everyone in the room gets the exact same puzzle, and none of us know what the picture is going into it. And every single puzzle at this event is brand new and unreleased, so none of us will have ever seen or done these images before. The puzzle is 500 pieces, and we have 90 minutes to solve it, and there are 200 puzzlers in each prelim, and the top 50 will move on to the final. So in this round is Kelly Walter, who was last year's national champion, and she's sharing a table with Hannah Sigler. And at 11 minutes, we can see all of their progress because this is brand new for the live stream this year. They set up GoPros over the top tables so we can get a really good look at the fastest puzzlers. For this round, they also put me at one of the top tables. So let's talk about my strategy so far. So I started flipping and I finished my flip at 325. Then I went right into the edge, although partway through I did get tired of the edge and I started doing some sorting, but then I decided I would commit to it. So I finished the edge at just under 10 minutes. And then I had more trouble than I expected with this orange awning. I think the problem is I hadn't sorted all of the pieces I needed, so instead I tried to start on the gradient sky, and then I did a bunch of sorting, basically just grabbing anything that I recognized. So that brings us back to this overhead shot, where my pieces are kind of messy, while Sky next to me has so much done. I remember while I was puzzling, I could just hear her place piece after piece so fast. And I was not going nearly that fast.
It's a little different, this puzzle, because it's not what I would call a busy puzzle, but it's also not just like a straight landscape either. It's got a lot going on.
Mari and I often say that speed puzzling has a little bit of a misnomer, and it should be called efficiency puzzling. Because if you're spending the extra like 4 seconds looking for one thing, that's 4 seconds down the drain.
Yes,
right?
exactly.
So now let's jump ahead to 31 minutes. I've gotten those colorful buildings across the center pretty much done, but I made a mistake because I kept trying to work on the gradient sky, but with the trees in front, that was actually the hardest part of the puzzle. So I definitely wasted a little time trying to work on that too early. Meanwhile, you can see just how much more filled in Sky's puzzle looks next to me. Kyle is also doing really well. And of course, Kelly Walter is flying.
Kelly Walter's probably down to about 60 pieces here, and it's a Swiss cheese close.
Every piece she picks up, just bam, bam, bam.
She's almost at the point of zero ambiguity where she can use just the shape of the
Yes,
piece
exactly.
and drop it in where it's going to go. Those last two,
And you
using
nailed
both
it.
hands.
Nailed it,
Oh,
Jim. Nailed
there it
it.
is. Congrats. Oh, come on.
There it is. Congratulations. Fantastic, Kelly.
Fantastic finish.
Fantastic.
So, Kelly Walter is our first prelim winner at just 36 minutes. Here's where I was at the same time, so she really just raced through that. So then, 3 minutes later, at 39 minutes, Hannah Sigler finished for second, and 40 seconds after her, Kyle finished for third, and he was the last one to be under 40 minutes. Then Andrea Pang got fourth, and literally 3 seconds after her, Sky next to me finished for fifth. And she actually tied with Sammy for fifth. So the finishes were coming in one right after the next as I kept puzzling as fast as I could. Now, by this point, I had separated the flowers from the sky, so I was really trying to get the bottom part of the puzzle finished. And then it was finally time to tackle those palm trees, which all kind of looked the same, but it was just a couple more minutes and then I was finished too. Done.
There's
See,
Karen
Karen
Paul.
just finished.
Congratulations,
Nice.
Karen.
Good job,
Just
Karen.
under the 49:30 line. That's a
Yep.
fantastic time.
Oh man, that was fun. That was a fun one. I liked that. Oh, under 50. Oh my gosh. All right, well, hopefully an under 50 time qualifies me for the final. All right, I'm about to look at the results for the first time. I can see Kelly Walter on the live stream, so I'm pretty sure she won. And as I was puzzling, I think I heard people whispering, like, Kelly Walter, Kelly Walter. I ended up scrolling, 27th place, which is totally fine. There are so many fast people now. I finished the puzzle, and I made the final, and that's all I wanted. All right, so now let's take a look at the data. You can see just how far ahead Kelly was, and then 4th through 8th place were all super close to each other. And here is everyone. So at 27th place, that's me. And about 3/4 of the participants finished within the 90 minutes. However, there is an interesting data point about this round. So as I said before, it's the top 50 puzzlers out of 200 participants who make it through to the finals. And this is the first time ever in the individual round of US Nationals that you could have finished your puzzle in under an hour and not made it through to the final. The last qualifying time was 55:46, and there were 16 people after that who finished in under an hour but didn't qualify for the final. So that's why this was the round that I was most nervous for. Everyone has just gotten so fast. And even though there are still puzzlers like Kelly Walter who are way out ahead, there are a lot of people now who are faster than me or at kind of a similar level to me. So I really didn't know where I would place anymore, but I made it to the final, which is all I wanted because I just wanted to do as much puzzling as possible. Oh no, that bottom one crumbled.
Five, four, three, two, one, puzzle!
All right, so here's the puzzle for individual round B. Now, this event took place in Atlanta, and so they chose a stock photo of Atlanta. And it's funny, afterwards, a few people spotted this same stock photo in the airport on their way home. So in this round, we have Lauren and Mari sharing a table, and we have Jean Reuter and Grayson sharing a table. And over in the commentary booth, alongside Val, is me, Karen Puzzles.
Looks like,
what a
look at
great
that.
shot.
What, that was a great move, right?
Something that I was thinking of is just like last year, the one with the grid, you could basically separate it out into 3 separate puzzles. This one you can basically separate into 2 puzzles, you know, 2 250-ish piece puzzles. So I admit I was a little disappointed to not be in the round with the huge, beautiful gradient sky, but there is something else to mention. The timer on this round on the live stream started exactly 5 seconds late. So I overlaid a correct timer on top. And so if you go back and watch the live stream, the times might look a little different. But since we're only looking for the top 50 people who finished relative to each other, the exact time didn't really matter in the moment. So the correct people still qualified for the final. So as we're passing 13 minutes, you can see the progress from the top tables. Pretty much everyone has the dark purple done, but some people worked down into the gradient, and some people decided to finish the edge. And I think this puzzle works really well for a competition because it doesn't favor anyone completely. The people who love gradients and simple designs get an advantage on half of the puzzle, and the people who are better at busy puzzles get an advantage on the other half. So it's testing both skills equally.
Grayson, who's right next to Jean Reuter. They're right on the right
Wow.
as Grayson. And Grayson's
Oh my gosh,
getting
so
close.
fast.
Yeah, they're
So
doing
fast.
great. They are doing fantastic. It just mounts. You can like feel it mounting and like some rising in your body, like the stress of like, oh no, somebody could finish any second. I've only got like 10 left.
That's the thing, is you can't look at anyone else's because
Right.
those are precious seconds. Yeah, because every single piece you pick up now is going to go in.
Yes, exactly. Oh gosh, look at that.
Everything
If
connects.
this is the same exact.
Oh my
time.
God. Oh my God.
So crazy.
Oh my gosh.
Whoa,
1 second.
Might have been 1 second difference. Congratulations, Grayson. That's fantastic.
Grayson absolutely could not believe it when they finished first. And 36 minutes is such an incredible time. After that, it was 1 minute until Shay finished for second. And then a few minutes later, Mari finished for third. And on the live stream, we were getting so excited because it was almost the exact same time as Kelly from the first round. She finished at 36:24, and after adjusting the time, Grayson finished at 36:32. So here you can see the top 20. The first few finishers all had pretty big leads, but then a bunch of people all started finishing right after each other. And here is everyone. So it was about 2/3 this time who finished, and the last qualifying time was 1 hour and 1 minute. So if you want to hear all of my commentary and hear our interviews with the winners, I'm going to link that live stream right down below. But for now, let's move on to Prelim C.
3, 2, 1, puzzle!
So here is the puzzle for round C, and this is actually the first of the featured artist puzzles for the event. So going into it, we knew that these artists would be doing signings and debuting new puzzles, but we didn't know which round their puzzles would show up in. So these puzzlers got a brand new puzzle by Radina Tilley, and she was on the live stream to talk about it.
I am so happy to be here, and I'm so glad to be part of this amazing event. When you see nature, everything is built up in layers. In my artwork, I start with a canvas layer, and then it all starts piling up with paper cutouts and oil paint. And then it comes to this point where every piece of your artwork is touched by somebody and put together. It's special to have that human connection.
So at 21 minutes, we got this nice sequence of shots from the overhead cameras where you can see that pretty much everyone at the top tables, except Lewis, started with the yellow at the bottom and the sky at the top. But then, if we jump ahead to 25 minutes, suddenly Hannah Doyle also has these stripes running across the middle. She is so focused and is just flying. And I think this puzzle looks so beautiful on camera. I wish I could be in there solving it too.
This could be the fastest
I
puzzle
know.
so
Yeah,
far.
right? Woo, that was
Wow.
incredible. Just to watch that and just see how quickly she got that together. Oh,
Oh,
no,
don't
something
oh,
missing.
Oh, come on. Oh, no, no.
Oh,
No.
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 Okay, but still a really good time. They'll take down the 10 seconds if that's it.
What?
Nope. Oh, that's it.
Okay.
Just missing a piece.
So Hannah got first with the fastest time so far today at just 33 minutes. Then it was about 3 minutes later when Amber finished for second, and 1 second after her, Kylie finished for third. So looking at the data, it was actually the top 8 finishers who finished in the 30s. So this could probably be considered the easiest one so far. Again, about 3/4 of the puzzlers finished it within the time, and the last time to qualify, again, was under an hour. It was 57:51. And then before we move on, I actually want to give another shout out to Amber, who got second, because she shared on the live stream that she was actually 8 months pregnant.
I used to solely stand when I speed puzzled, and I kind of taught myself to sit down for most of it. I actually think I'm at a place where I probably could stand, but I was worried I wouldn't be, so I kind of trained myself to get comfortable sitting. But for the most part, it hasn't impacted me too much. So.
And she shared with me in a message that she has since had her baby, and they're both doing great. And then I also just wanted to mention the missing pieces rule for this year, because we saw Hannah Doyle looking for a missing piece, and then eventually she stopped and the time was called. So the rule this year is that if you have one or more missing pieces, you can look for them for 10 seconds and then your time is noted. But the penalty is just the one flat 10-second penalty. It's not 10 seconds per piece.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, puzzle!
All right, we have made it to the last individual prelim, and they got an illustration of a nice front porch scene. So in this round is Kathy Reuter. We also have Emma Williamson, who last year was the first American to ever win first place in a semifinal at Worlds. Tiffany has been my pairs partner in the past, and she's super fast. And in that first seed is Alice Rowe, who was the 2024 national champion. So at 10 minutes, we can see everyone up front, starting with the edge and the American flag. And then by 15 minutes, everyone is working on the more distinct parts towards the bottom.
I don't think it's like a super hard puzzle or anything, but I think if you compared it to the three we've had so far today, this maybe is the more difficult of the three. 33:19, I think, was Hannah Doyle's time.
I don't think we'll see that in
No,
this round.
I don't think so either. I think it's going to be closer to 40, probably.
But then at 27 minutes, Alice has literally flown through this entire puzzle.
One after the other, just like not having to struggle a whole lot with finding where they're going to go.
Alice
Tiffany
just makes
there,
it look effortless.
She really does.
I am
This puzzle.
gobsmacked.
I am too.
My mouth is just open right now.
I was just going to say the same thing. I'm like, my mouth is like jaw on the floor here. What just happened? It's like we go away for a moment and come back, and it's like the hardest part of the puzzle, mind you, and the progress is insane. This is incredible. I'm just like, what is
Bow down to
right?
Queen
I mean,
Alice.
I was filming for this round, and even I couldn't believe it. I was running back over once I saw just how close she was at just 30 minutes.
We're
Oh
both,
my
we're both
gosh.
out. Oh my goch, this is nuts.
Are we gonna have a sub 31?
Oh my! What just happened, Alice?
I can't even say anything. I'm just like,
Yes, Daphne's like speechless.
we're both over here.
Amazing.
Alice,
That was
incredible.
So Alice got the fastest time of the day at just 30:39, which is crazy for a puzzle of this difficulty.
I have no idea. I was like, they showed me the time and I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Like, oh my
You
gosh.
should be like, whoa, oh my goodness.
And you can see all of the other fast puzzlers are doing well, but they all still have all of that greenery to do. So at 38 minutes, Kathy Reuter finished for second. A minute after her, Emma finished for third. And then another minute after her, Tiffany finished for fourth. So looking at the top 20, you can just see Alice's huge lead on this one. and then everyone else finished pretty evenly after that. And again, about 3/4 of the puzzlers finished, so in the end, this one doesn't seem significantly harder than the others. But before I do a full comparison between the rounds, let's just take a look at how happy everyone was as they finished all throughout the day.
This is my little support chihuahua for the weekend.
Oh, fabulous. Go, Mom! Yay! Go!
Yes!
I'm so proud of her!
Oh, that's fantastic.
Oh, I'm bawling.
Yeah,
It's
she's
fine.
full on bawling. Now you're making me cry.
Well, I'm so proud of her. This has been her goal for so many. She's been practicing so hard.
Oh, that's so great.
Good job, Mom.
Do you want to go give her a hug?
Yeah, I'm
'Cause
gonna
you
go
can.
give her a hug. Okay,
Emma's
goodbye,
here.
everybody.
Okay.
I'm done for the day, I think.
Okay, so now let's compare all of the puzzles to each other and see if we can determine which one was the easiest or the hardest. First, here are the top 20 times from all of the rounds combined, and all of them are represented, so we didn't have one that was way easier or way harder than the rest. And it is so satisfying that the top 4 times are one from each of the 4 puzzles. But C is definitely the most represented with the most super fast times. So then, if we look at the ratio of how many people finished or didn't finish, A, C, and D are pretty much exactly the same. It's only that Cityscape in round B that had a few more people not finishing. And if we look at the last time to qualify for the finals, B was the only one that was over an hour. And here you can see all of the finish times layered on top of each other, and there's some variation, like B is a little consistently higher, but mostly they're remarkably similar to each other. So I think the organizers did a great job choosing images that are really similar difficulties to each other, even though they're completely different images. And even though it might not make for as exciting of a video as we've had in the past, everything seemed to go about how the organizers expected. You know, they place the fastest people up front based on past competition results, but there could always be someone where nationals is their first major competition, like Alice 2 years ago when she was sitting in the back row for her prelim round and then turned around and won the entire thing. But this time, pretty much everyone who placed up at the top was seated towards the front and was a known fast competitor. And to be clear, I'm not looking for drama here. The organizers already had enough to deal with because this was the biggest nationals yet. There were 200 puzzlers in each round, and this is the first time that they've had 4 prelims instead of 3. So that's 800 people competing just in the individual round. And there was still a big wait list on top of that. And then finally, to finish out day 1, I need to tell you about the puzzle chess tournament. So all weekend long, there were casual competitions happening in the Cobble Hill room, and they actually debuted brand new 100-piece puzzles that are made specifically for puzzle chess. And they specifically made sure to have an even number of pieces on the edge and in the middle, so each player places the same number of pieces. So all day long, while the main competitions were going on, people were in that room going head-to-head at puzzle chess, and eventually it got narrowed down to a 64-person bracket. And then they all competed against each other, and Nathan, Emily, Kyle, and Chloe made it into the semifinals.
3, 2, 1, puzzle!
So it was Kyle and Emily who were facing off in the finals.
3, 2, 1, puzzle!
Now, if you don't know puzzle chess, I have a whole video explaining it, but basically you go back and forth putting in one piece at a time, and you have a chess clock counting down each time it's your turn. And so at the end, the person who spent the least amount of time placing their pieces is the winner.
We just got a person's head put in the puzzle. That was exciting. Now some body is coming down from it.
Give them the amount of space you would want.
The golden rule of spectating.
So it was Emily who was our 2026 Puzzle Chess Champion, and she won this chess piece trophy that was crocheted by Becca. So that was it for day one, which was a really long day. The opening ceremonies started at 8:30 a.m. and puzzle chess ended at 8 p.m. But back to the main competition. A huge congratulations to Kelly, Grayson, Hannah, and Alice for being the frontrunners heading into the individual final. But before we get there, we still have to do the pairs and the teams prelims on day two. All right, so we all went and we got a good night's sleep. And then here is what is on the schedule for day two. Now, they put me in the first pairs round and then the second teams round. So I was puzzling bright and early, and then I had a long break until it was time for me to puzzle again. But we're going to start with pairs. For these rounds, we have to do a 500-piece puzzle in under 75 minutes. There are 200 pairs in each round, and the top 100 from each prelim move on to the final. So for pairs this year, I paired up with Ewan, and as you can see from our shirts, we were there for good vibes only.
Oh my gosh. Let's go. Let's go. We got this. We got this. We got this.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, no puzzle!
Sorry.
Oh, that's hard.
It's a busy. I knew they were going to do.
Okay, well, we have 2 edge pieces already together.
Oh, nice. It's freebie, freebie, freebie.
Perfect, just like we practiced. Yep. So I'm gonna do the puzzle here and we'll keep the pieces that way. Okay, so here is the puzzle. It's a little busy, but I love the colors. It's nice and bright, and there's plenty of stuff for 2 people to sort out and work on. So as we start working on that, let me tell you about who else is in this round, and it's a pair you might not expect. For the first time at Nationals, Jean and Kathy Reuter have split up and paired with Sarah and Lauren. So in this round is Kathy puzzling with Lauren. Then we also have Mari and Hannah Sigler, and next to them are Alice and Hannah Scott. And making a ton of progress by 11 minutes is a third Hannah. It's Hannah Doyle and Caitlin. So in the meantime, I was working on the edge and I finished that by just under 7 minutes. Ewan had done a bunch of sorting, so then I started working on anything pink and trying to place things within the border where they're going to go. So by 14 minutes, we have a lot of things placed, but if we cut over here, look at how great Hannah and Caitlin are doing alongside everyone else in the front row.
I think we're going to see some very fast times.
You think?
We may see low 20s on this, possibly faster.
The sections on this puzzle are just a really good size. You know, you got 10, 15 piece sections. Like those are just, they assemble really quickly if you can pick those pieces.
But as we're passing 20 minutes, it's Hannah and Caitlin who only have a handful of pieces left.
You see those shaky hands, they know no one's finished.
Yeah, they know no one's finished, but yeah, I think we're looking at our winners.
There we go.
There
Wow.
it is.
Congrats.
Hannah and Caitlin.
Impressive time.
That's impressive.
So Caitlin and Hannah Doyle won this one, and you can just see the surprise and relief on their faces. But this was pretty close. It was only 30 seconds later that Alice and Hannah Scott finished for second. About 90 seconds later, Mari and Hannah Sigler finished. And then a minute after them, Kathy and Lauren got fourth. Meanwhile, here's where we were when Hannah and Caitlin won.
Oh my gosh.
We still had kind of a lot to go, but the fewer pieces you have left, the faster it gets, especially since you have a lot more to work off of. Oh, this connects all the way down here. This all connects, okay.
Good job.
And I remember thinking that I felt like I was doing this puzzle about as fast as I possibly could. By this point, we were so focused. Ewan and I were locked in, and I ended up liking this puzzle more than I thought I would at the beginning. So I'm happy with this solve, and I was having a great time. Yay! Done. Oh my gosh. 31. That's really good.
Yeah, is it? Okay, yay.
That was such a sprint. Oh my gosh. That was really fun though.
Yeah.
Yes. That was very even. What was that, like 15 seconds?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
We're in, I mean, I assume we're probably,
Hopefully.
I don't think 100 people already finished.
Yeah.
So we ended up in 23rd place, which was well within qualifying for the finals. So if we look at the data, it was the top 19 who finished in under 30 minutes, which is always a really solid and really fast time for a pairs puzzle. And almost everybody finished within the 75 minutes. It was only the last 20 pairs who didn't. And the last time to qualify for the finals was about 45 minutes. So after a short break, next was the second pairs prelim, and this one was pretty crazy.
3, 2, 1, puzzle!
Okay, so here is the second pairs prelim puzzle, and this is another featured artist puzzle. This is from Redina Tilly again. We saw one of her other images in the individual round. So in this round, we have last year's champion Kelly Walter paired up with Jessa Douglas. On the other side of their table are Jean Reuter and Sarah Schuler. And we also have puzzling prodigy Connor paired up with Josh. Connor is still too young to compete individually, but kids are allowed to do pairs and teams with an adult, and he is just so impressive to watch. So as we're passing 10 minutes, everyone is doing this puzzle in pretty much the same order, starting with the edge, the mushrooms, and the light corners, and then ending with the darkest pieces in the middle. But by 13 minutes, Josh and Connor are already getting started on those dark pieces.
Oh my gosh, look at Josh and
look
Connor.
at them go.
Oh my gosh.
Do we think 20 minutes?
I'm
thinking
so.
it's gonna be around 20.
I mean, a little earlier they came up on the screen. We have a good number of spectators in here, and the chatter in this room just went up when people saw Connor's hands and how fast they move.
Yeah.
They're kind of a blur.
Look at him go.
I know. His hands move so fast, you're like, is this
this-
at 1.5 speed right now?
Yeah, for sure.
So Josh and Connor are easily the winners, and that was so impressive. They knocked through all of those dark pieces in just a couple of minutes. And so after they finished, all of the other top pairs still had all of those dark pieces still to go. So it's another 7 minutes until we get another finisher, which is a pretty big gap when you're talking about times of like 20 minutes. So second place was Kelly and Jessa with a still very impressive time of 28 minutes. And then 3 minutes after them, Jean and Sarah finished for third. Oh, and in 8th and 9th place, I love this, Grayson and Sammy and Simi and Tiffany all finished at basically the same time. So looking at the data, most of the top times were in the mid-30s, which makes that 21-minute solve extra impressive. And looking at everyone, it was only about 2/3 of the puzzlers who finished this one. I think all of those dark pieces at the end made it a bit harder than the first pairs puzzle. So if we look at all of our metrics comparing them, As I said, the second puzzle had a much lower completion rate within the time limit, and the last qualifying time was also significantly higher. It was an hour compared to 45 minutes from the first one. And if we look at the top 100 solve times of the two puzzles mixed together, Connor and Josh are an outlier, but it's mostly the first puzzle that has the super fast times. But before we move on to the team's prelims, I want to give a shout out to a special guest at Nationals this year, Soup Timmy, who has a YouTube channel where he does speed Rubik's Cubing, but he wanted to try something new, so he came to Nationals to try his hand at speed jigsaw puzzling.
3, 2, 1, hands up!
422 last pieces to assemble.
Breathe the whole time, just like, oh, I wish this was a Rubik's Cube.
Yeah, I wish so.
You know, I will say, I think you could have finished that puzzle faster than I could solve a Rubik's Cube. But it's okay. He had another chance at the pairs event, and he was sharing a table with travel creators Claire and Peter. And everyone at this table was puzzling in a slightly unconventional way.
The trick is, guys, I learned from my mistake yesterday, is to have a good stance. Maybe. It's gone. That's so sad. Gone. Gone.
You guys are doing so good.
Can you help us?
I don't think I'm allowed.
We're just puzzling so slow in front of Karen puzzles. That's embarrassing.
You still have 45 minutes. You're only halfway through.
We're getting our exercise in. Each time we drop a piece, it's 3 push-ups.
I don't think that's an official rule. We'd all be a lot stronger if that was the case.
That counts, right?
Is he cubing right now? He's strong puzzle.
All right, puzzle 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, hands up! Give yourselves a round of applause! Great job, puzzlers. You persevered to the very end. You should be so proud of yourselves.
Okay, so now it's time for the two teams prelim rounds. In these, you have 4 people on a team, and you have 2 hours and 15 minutes to solve the puzzles. There are 100 teams in each round, and the top 50 move on to the final. Now, in the past, it's been 2 1,000-piece puzzles back to back, but this year they decided to change it to a 500 and then a 1,000-piece puzzle. This is the first time at Nationals that we're going to see a team doing a 500-piece puzzle. So we were all speculating whether it might be a circle puzzle or a large format puzzle, since we'll have the entire table to spread out. But from looking at the bags right before it started, the puzzle box did seem to be the same shape as the regular rectangle puzzles.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, puzzle!
So sure enough, it was just a normal puzzle. This image is a pretty easy one for a team, since there are a lot of distinct sections to sort out. So in this round, we have the girls in Stemp. Also up front are the whimsy pieces. And we also have a team called Peach Please We're Puzzling, and Puzzles for 500, which is 3/4 of last year's champion team, only with the addition of Grayson, who we've seen is super fast. And I also have to mention M, which is Min, Emma, Emma, and Emily. So since this is only 500 pieces, it's gonna go super fast. We're not even at 5 minutes, and the whimsy pieces already have the edge and that bottom road done. And it's interesting to see which teams are building outside the edge and when they move everything into the middle. But it is just wild to see how fast these teams are and how coordinated they have to be, so they're not all bumping into each other on such a small puzzle.
Oh my gosh, look at this.
Yep,
We're at
we're back.
11:30. What are we thinking for end time here?
I was going to say 14.
Well, here's me. I'm thinking, well, we probably got a good 15, 20 minutes of relaxation and watching, and now I'm like, yeah, I think you're right, 14. I mean, that would be so insane.
But now it becomes a real sprint to see which team will finish and move on to the next puzzle first.
Oh my gosh, they're done. They just finished. What just happened? I just feel like
That was a smooth transition there.
So it was the whimsy pieces who raced through this one in under 15 minutes. A minute later was Peach Please We're Puzzling, and only 30 seconds after that, the next 3 teams finished and switched over at almost the exact same time. So now, after doing that really fast sprint, now they have to do a much more complicated 1,000-piece puzzle. So here's the image they got, and if the style looks familiar, it's actually going to be part of the official Abandoned series. This is a series of puzzles from Ravensburger of empty, deserted places. But luckily, this one has some distinct colors and different sections for the teams to sort out. So once we're about 10 minutes into the second puzzle, we can see that all of the top teams have finished the edge and sorted out the bright green pieces. The pink sky also seems pretty distinct. Everyone started there as well. When we're right in the middle of it, it can be a little hard to tell who's in the lead. So let's just watch everyone power through for another 15 minutes.
What's strangely, they are getting a lot of the green in there. And so maybe all those little objects are just the ticket, right? For being able to do a little bit of pick and place and get the green to come together quickly.
I wonder if this is also a case for a puzzle where having different skill sets on a team is very important. And so I wonder if there's someone on that team who really is drawn to the green.
So at 50 minutes, we are heading into the home stretch, and it is really close.
Oh, they did it. Girls in Step got
Girls in Step for the win.
So the girls in Stemp came back from a 5th place switch, and they did that second puzzle so fast that they came in first overall. But it was only 22 seconds later that Puzzles for 500 finished for second. Then about 2 minutes later, the Whimsy Pieces got third. Peach Please We're Puzzling finished for 4th. And then M&M finished for 5th. So here you can see the top 20 teams and their times for each puzzle individually. And doing that first puzzle quickly wasn't a guarantee for your final placement. You can see those times kind of curving in and out because some teams made up a lot of time in the second puzzle. And then looking at everyone, I am happy to share that every single team finished their 500-piece puzzle. That's kind of why the organizers changed the first puzzle to a 500. They wanted everyone to be able to finish at least one, and they also needed to drop down the total time from 3 hours to 2 hours and 15 minutes so that they could fit all of these prelims into one day. So I think that was a really good change, and I'm happy that everyone got to finish at least one. Oh, and the last time to qualify for the final was 1 hour and 49 minutes. All right, so now it's time for the last preliminary round of the competition, and this was the teams round that I was in. This year, my teammates were Ewan, Jessica, and Trisha. We all live around LA, so we could get together to practice ahead of time, and we came up with the team name Eat Our Puzzle Dust. And I was so ready and excited going into it. And then we saw the puzzles. All right, we got this. We got this.
We got this.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, puzzle!
Oh, there's Sky, a Gradient Sky. Okay, so this is the puzzle we got. It's a photo of Lookout Mountain, which is a popular destination in Georgia. And on the live stream, they were talking about how at US Nationals, we tend to do a lot of illustrations. And so they wanted to mix it up and give us a landscape, a photo, which I totally get. However, it doesn't mean I have to like it. This is not at all the type of puzzle I would go for, and the only part that I liked was that little bit of Gradient Sky. That part was really fun. I was just plopping in piece after piece, but I finished that at just under 5 minutes. And then there were just a whole lot of rocks to put together. But let's see who else is in this round. Returning from last year, we have the all-male team, 3.5 men. And again, with the same teammates as last year, is the Jiggernauts. And then there's We Put the Betch in You Betcha. And this is actually the last time for a while that they'll all be competing together as a team. One piece left from that section. I hate that.
Oh,
it's fine. We'll figure it out.
Oh my gosh, look at this.
Look at this.
Yeah,
already. So people at the times were like, this one looks a little harder. Maybe it's going to be like 20 minutes, 22 minutes, 24 minutes, because we saw an incredible time in that last round of people finishing in under 15 minutes. I think we're going to be there with this too.
This is one of the things that youth brings. Connor's hands are just so fast. He's got spring in his step. He's got energy, and he's got explosive energy, which isn't necessarily something you look for in puzzling, but is definitely beneficial here.
He is pretty precise. As much as his hands look a little chaotic, he's not jamming a lot where you're just trying a piece over and over in different spots. It's like he's picking them up and putting them into place pretty much.
And you see this with...
Oh my gosh, you guys, we're looking at it under 15 for sure. Look at this.
You see this with, like, you know, Victor Kasperczak from Poland. You see this with Alejandro Clemente Leon from Spain. They are super fast, but they are not sloppy. right?
No, right?
You actually have to do both if you're going to be the best in the world. And so I am not surprised. But look at the way that those pieces are going in.
Yeah.
So they're down to it. He's got, what, like maybe 6, 5, 4 pieces? So under
14, 11?
Yeah. And they're moving off. All right, so they're going to do book fold here. So the classic tri-fold, folding one side, folding the other side, shove it into the box.
All right, so 3.5 men were the first team to move on, and that was so impressive. Meanwhile, we were over here struggling. A lot of the rocks all just looked the same, so this is what we were up to when they switched. So it was just under 2 minutes until the next team switched, which was the Jiggernauts. Then it was another 2 minutes until a bunch of my old teammates who made a team called the Bucket List Puzzlers also switched over. Meanwhile, at 17 minutes, my team started shape sorting the last little bit, and then it was only a few more minutes. So we finished at 21 minutes, and we were the 8th team to switch to the next puzzle. But let me show you this puzzle. So this is another one that'll be part of the Abandoned series, but this time it's of a theater. And don't get me wrong, I love theater. I was actually recently in London for 7 nights, and in that I saw 5 shows. However, as a puzzle, this one was really dark, and there was just so much red and gold. Oh, it's so dark.
It's a dark puzzle.
It's a very dark puzzle. There's so much glare because it's so dark. I remember when I was watching the last round that I was thinking how dark the mini golf pieces looked and how glad I was not to be on that puzzle. And then when we started this one, I was like, I would do literally anything to be working on that mini golf puzzle, because Ravensburger puzzles tend to print darker than they look on the box. So this edge was really hard, and after we finished flipping, it took me a full 12 minutes to finish the edge. Meanwhile, if we jump ahead to 43 minutes, we can see that all of the teams are basically starting with the same brightest sections and saving all of the really dark sections until the end. Every competition feels like it has to have one extra hard puzzle for all of us to struggle through, and this was definitely it for Nationals 26. So in the last round, the first 4 teams all finished in under an hour, but this time we're passing an hour and no one is done yet. But 3.5 men and the Jiggernauts are both getting close.
There we go.
An hour and 3.
So 3.5 men won this one, and that is such an impressive time for 2 really hard puzzles. But the Jiggernauts were right behind them, and they finished 2 minutes later. But after that, everyone else was still working their way through those really dark pieces, and so it was a full 9 minutes until we had another finisher. So the Betches finished for 3rd, and then the Bucket List Puzzlers finished 30 seconds later for 4th. Meanwhile, we were trying to keep our spirits up during this really long solve. We're doing great. Every piece we put in is 1 piece closer.
Go, people, go. Go, people, go.
Okay, I just got so many pieces.
I think we're right. I think we need to just do it and shape sort.
Okay.
Okay.
So we shape sorted again, And these puzzles were hard, that we had to shape sort on both of them. And I mean, the time lapse is really satisfying to watch, but here's what it was actually looking like in real time. So it was slow going, but eventually we got there.
Good job.
Oh, that was so hard.
Oh goodness, this is, yeah, there you go. Awkward for you.
An hour and 24 minutes? Oh my god. That's crazy. That was so hard. Good job.
Good job, team. We did it. It's a good team effort.
I was dying. There was so much glare.
Yeah. It was so hard.
So a time of an hour 24 got us 10th place. And honestly, I was just really happy to be done with that puzzle. That puzzle alone took us an hour and 3 minutes, which is a pretty long solve for a team puzzle, especially when the mini golf puzzle only took the teams about 40 minutes. But we made it through to the final, which is the most important part. So let's look at the top 20, and these times were definitely longer than the first round. Only the top 7 teams did that theater puzzle in under an hour, and 3.5 men and the Jiggernauts were pretty far ahead of the rest of us. And then looking at everyone, again, every single team finished the first puzzle, but only 41 teams finished both of them. So for the first time in this entire competition, you could have not finished the puzzle and still made it through to the final. So if we combine the times for just the 500-piece puzzle, 3.5 men were the fastest, but the puzzle from round A was overall a faster solve. And if we combine the times from the 1,000-piece puzzles, the mini golf was definitely much faster. But now let's cleanse our minds by watching everyone finishing on day 2. All right, so now we have finished the prelims, so all we have left are the finals. But before we get to the finals on day 3, this main competition wasn't the only thing going on at the event. It was actually a whole jigsaw puzzle convention filled with tons of different jigsaw puzzle activities. So in order to attend nationals, you didn't have to be competing. You could just buy a convention pass to get access to everything else at the event. So right below where the competition was taking place, there was a whole expo hall with tons of different puzzle vendors. I got to do some puzzling with Puzzle U, who make custom puzzles, and they're always one of my go-to recommendations when people ask where to get a puzzle printed. They also had everyone sign a canvas, and then they turned that into this commemorative nationals puzzle, and they were so nice to send me one. I also saw Sarah Schuler with her new puzzle twist puzzle and her new shirts that she's selling. Zach from Zakco Puzzle Boards had a booth, and these are the trays and box top holders that a ton of the top puzzlers use. This is like top of the line puzzle equipment. Oh, and I was so excited for this. Bits and Pieces reprinted their vintage shirt design, so I definitely stopped by to pick up one of those. And after I saw this little teddy bear at the Ravensburger booth, I knew I had to have one. So they had a claw machine, and I got one.
Oh, I got one! Yay!
I'm very good at puzzles. And a new thing for this year is that Puzzle U sponsored Artists Alley, where a bunch of different artists could set up a booth and sell puzzles with their original artwork. And just check out Turtle's Haul. I had to film this when I saw what a huge stack she was walking around with. So in every single booth, there were puzzles, puzzles, and more puzzles. So once you were done puzzle shopping, you could also do puzzles in virtual reality. What do we think? Is this the future of puzzling? But if you want to stick to the real world, there were also tons of tables set up where you could practice puzzle chess or do some puzzle sprints or practice your speed puzzling or just do a casual puzzle. There were a lot of extras this year, but at the heart of it, puzzlers are easy. All we need is a whole bunch of tables with a clean surface to spread out and do a puzzle. Oh, and I should also mention that as the main sponsor of the competition, Ravensburger had a big booth up in the competition room where they were selling normal puzzles, but also every time a new puzzle got unveiled, they would add it to the list and immediately start selling them as soon as the round started. So people would line up ahead of time since they would sell out fast, and then they could head downstairs to try it right away and see how they would have placed. And as the main sponsor of the event, Ravensburger also supplied some giant puzzles. So they had, I think, 2 copies of the 7,000-piece 6 Portals puzzle by Rose Cat Khan. And at the end of the event, once they were finished, and for me personally, I had a chance to work on one of the quadrants of the 18,000-piece Evening Walk in Paris puzzle. I really want to do this one just on my own, so this was a great preview of what I'm going to be in for. But I swear, everywhere you looked, it felt like there was a new puzzle activity waiting for you around every corner. Now, since this was a convention, they also had plenty of panels about all kinds of different puzzle subjects, including one that I was on about puzzling and social media and how to become a puzzle content creator. What I really love is researching vintage puzzles. I feel like my channel is sort of a virtual museum. Kind of similarly, I feel like with speed puzzling, a lot of the videos that I make are sort of in real time documenting the modern rise of this hobby. When there's another Karen Puzzles 50 years from now who's looking back at this time, I hope that what I'm making can then be, you know, sort of the official record of what happened. And then there was also the Cobble Hill room where they ran casual contests all weekend long. I was so busy filming that I didn't have a chance to take part in any of them, but I still want to tell you about them. First up was Cobble Together. In this one, you have a team of 4 split up into 2 pairs. So each pair gets a 500-piece puzzle, but they had to swap reference images. So you had to be communicating with your teammates to figure out what you were putting together.
And then it says stop in for a spell in purple, like a pink and purple sign. Okay.
Next was the team relay. For this one, you have a team of 8, but split up into 2 groups of 4. Each group gets a 1,000-piece puzzle, and then every 5 minutes, you move 3 seats clockwise, so 3 out of the 4 people are now on the other puzzle. Once one of the puzzles is finished, you keep up the same thing, only half the group isn't puzzling anymore, and you're only finished when both puzzles are completely done. And then was the gauntlet. They kept the rules for this one a secret, so everyone was speculating what it could possibly be. So what it is you have a team of 4, and you have to solve 3 puzzles back to back. The first one is 275 pieces, then 350, and then 500 pieces. And I love that there were easier, more casual competitions going on because not everyone is a speed puzzler. A lot of people just want to puzzle for fun. And so this gave them a way to do it in a way that's still somewhat structured and you can meet new people, but there's no pressure at all. Plus, it gave the people who didn't make the finals more things to do. So the gauntlet was actually on day 3 at the same time as the team's finals. So everyone who, you know, either didn't want to participate in the team's rounds or who didn't make it into the team's final could still go into the Cobble Hill room and still do a fun competition. And I heard from multiple people, including some of the fastest speed puzzlers, like people that you guys know, that the Cobble Hill competitions were their favorite part of the entire event because it was just fun. And each event was something new and different. Okay, I promise we're gonna get back to the main competition in just a sec, but there was one more special event, and it was basically the opposite of everything I just talked about. This was fast and stressful. This was the speed run final run. So last year, Puzzle Twist released this puzzle called Quilted Critters, specifically for people to do over and over and add their times to a leaderboard to see just how fast they can get. So this year at Nationals, Cobble Hill unveiled the new 2026 speedrun puzzle. So this was the last hurrah for the 2025 puzzle. So they invited everyone who had been practicing this puzzle to come do one final run here in person for all of us to watch in all 3 events, individual, pairs, and teams.
I've done this 200 times.
200?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, puzzle!
So I love this because we can see so many new strategies that you just don't get when it's a puzzle that no one has done before. So here, Jasmine didn't even dump out the pieces. She's just sorting them straight out of the box. Same with Tim, but he's pulling handfuls and placing them geographically. Meanwhile, Zin did dump everything out, but she didn't flip them. She's just placing them as she pulls them out of the pile. And I'm so curious which of these strategies will turn out to be the fastest. So she did that in just 19 minutes. Although if we go online to the full leaderboard, her top time is 17:50, and the top time overall is Nicole at 17:17.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, puzzle!
So then was the pairs round, and Mari and Emma had the puzzle in a different box because they know it so well, they don't even need the picture anymore. But again, we can see different strategies of sorting versus placing straight out of the box. In a regular competition, getting a pairs time around 20 minutes is really fast. So to see this, where that time is cut in half, is so incredible.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, puzzle!
And finally was the teams round, where you have to be 100% coordinated because every second counts, every millisecond counts. So you need a plan going into it, and you have to work around each other's hands without crashing into each other. So that 7-minute time was already impressive, but they actually decided to do it again, and this time they managed to get their time under 7 minutes. That is crazy for a 500-piece puzzle. Now, I have a hot take to share. I really think the speedrun event should be another division of the main competition and should be given the same importance and audience. I was trying to think of other sports that have 2 different divisions, one with a surprise element and one where you can practice the exact movements over and over again. And what I came up with is competitive rock climbing. So you have events where the route that they're climbing is brand new, and the competitors don't even watch each other compete so that they don't get any hints about how to do it. But then there's also speed climbing, which has a standardized route that you can practice and is measured down to the 1,000th of a second. And so it's always just kind of been a given in speed puzzling that the puzzle comes in an opaque bag and you don't know what it is before you start. And eventually, they also started doing brand new puzzles that no one will have solved before. But the rules of speed puzzling don't come from some higher power. Everything is made up and we can change it if we want to change it. So why can't we know what the puzzle is ahead of time and be able to practice it? So already with speed puzzling, you have two different sides of it. The mental side and the physical side. If you have a much harder puzzle, it's a lot more weighted to the mental side of how quickly you can figure out how the images on the pieces connect together. But with an easy puzzle, it's much more of the physical side of just how fast can you physically move your hands and move the pieces around. And so these speed runs are almost entirely physical. The images that they release for the speedruns are meant to be pretty easy so that you can learn them and get really fast times. Again, it's sort of like orienteering versus running track. If you're in an orienteering competition, I'm pretty sure you get a brand new course that you have to figure out. But if you're running track, I mean, the hurdles aren't going to be a random height and a random distance apart. It's standardized so that you can practice the exact movements that you need to make. And so we're also introducing the idea of people bringing their own equipment beyond box stands and trays, but also including the puzzle itself. For these speedruns, everyone had their own copy of the puzzle so that they knew exactly where the cuts landed between the pieces on their own personal copy. Although some of them did get a little damaged after a year and 200 solves. But I think it would be really cool if next year this was in the main competition space and live streamed with commentary, because we're really answering the question of just how fast is it humanly possible to put together a 500-piece puzzle. But okay, I'm gonna get off my soapbox. So now let's get back to the main competition and let's go watch all 3 finals. Oh my gosh, it is finals day! So first up is the pairs final. We're doing a 500-piece puzzle, and based on the signing schedule, we were pretty sure the artist would be Rose Kahn. She does a lot of fantasy illustrations, including the 7,000-piece 6 Portals puzzle. So that's the style we were expecting to pull out of the bag.
Welcome to the pairs final of the USA Jigsaw Nationals.
So you're doing bag, I do box, you do bag, and then pieces here.
We're gonna count together.
Oh my gosh.
In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Puzzle!
Oh,
Busy.
That's not Rose Cat Con, right?
No, I don't think so.
That's totally different.
This is like doodle.
Okay, so I guess I'll still do edge.
Yeah, because I think we'll need that to anchor.
Yeah, I mean, I like the top, so I'll do it top towards me, bottom towards you.
Okay.
Okay, so this is the puzzle we got, and we didn't even realize it until later, but it is by Rose Kahn. It's just a much different style than we've seen from her before, and it's very busy. So let's see how everyone started tackling it. So we're not even at 5 minutes yet, And Connor and Josh already have the edge done. And then they're starting with the purple octopus in the corner. Sharing their table are Caitlin and Hannah Doyle, and they started with the exact same thing. At the next table, Alice and Hannah Scott are placing more smaller elements within the frame, and we can see Kelly and Jessa working on that yellow corner up top. Now, Ewan and I worked really well together, and we had a lot of fun, but I am not great at busy puzzles, so we were not anywhere close to the top. So I'm gonna get back to our solve in a little bit, but for now, let's stay up front at the top tables.
I'm always amazed to watch these fast puzzlers. I'm transfixed.
Yes.
Everybody has gotten faster.
This field of competitors is so deep in terms of the talent. I mean, there's 20 pairs in this room that could win this.
Oh, absolutely.
On any day of the week.
So basically, I had just finished illustrating 6 portals. It was the most massive image I have ever drawn. I happened to be at my parents' house for the holidays, and I just wanted to draw something fun and loose and crazy. And I started asking my kids, what can I put into that? I have 3 children. I actually gave the flat colors to my daughter, Cadence, and she started doing all the flat colors with me because I was so busy with the baby that she assisted me with that. So I'm Cadence, I know you're listening, so I want to make sure you got proper cred because my daughter does aspire to be an artist as well.
Okay, so as we're passing 14 minutes, look at this table. We have the Reuters and Sarah and Lauren, but in their mixed up pairs. But this is going so fast that in this recap, I'm basically going minute by minute. So at just under 18 minutes, you can see that Josh and Connor have those corners super filled in. Meanwhile, Hannah and Caitlin have the pirate ship in the middle much more filled in. Both of them are just placing piece after piece after piece. And even though everyone else is doing well, that first place spot has become a race between Josh and Connor and Hannah and Caitlin.
Once you get to this like front row, it's anybody's game,
100%,
right? It's like,
100%.
it's what comes out of that bag and how the dumping out of the puzzle goes, those few seconds they might save here and there. It could be any of these
It could be
folks.
any little factor. The flip that day, how you're feeling that day.
Once they get half of this puzzle done, they're going to be just popping those in.
It's one of those that once you get down to 100 pieces, every piece you pick up, you pretty much go, oh, this is part of that
I know where this is
watermelon.
going to go.
His hands move with purpose.
Exactly.
You know,
and
he's
precision.
not fumbling.
He's
Precision,
not,
exactly.
He's not fumbling at all. He's
I could not
moving
do that.
quickly, but placing very accurately.
Yeah.
Oh, they did it. Josh.
Oh my goodness.
Josh and Connor. How did that happen so quickly?
Holy
All of a
cow.
sudden it was over.
So it is Josh and Connor who are our new national champions. That is such an accomplishment, and Connor has really proven himself as one of the fastest speed puzzlers in the country. But after them, Hannah and Caitlin kept placing their last handful of pieces, and they got second place about a minute later.
Did you have a missing piece or did you find it?
We found it. It was under the paper.
Oh no! I hate that when that
I feel like I've managed to lose a piece in every possible location.
And then, weirdly, with an extra piece, Kelly and Jessa finished for third. And then the finishes kept coming in, one right after the next.
I'm in awe. I still can't believe how incredibly fast these puzzlers are. So awesome.
You don't have to make the puzzle easier for them. Trust me. They're so fast. They're so fast.
That is exactly right.
But before I get to the stats, let's go back and see what Ewan and I were doing that whole time. So I was working on the edge and I finished it at about 8 minutes. Nope. Okay, we're missing one edge piece on the bottom.
Well, that's not too bad.
All right, what
That's
have you
not too bad.
sorted? And then it was time to jump into the middle of the puzzle. So confused by some of this. Everything's just on top of each other.
Yeah.
So I started with that yellow corner, and then I tried to do more of the stuff at the top with the blue and the white background, but I really think I wasted a lot of time here. So eventually we moved on and just tried to get things placed geographically. And I remember I was really focused on all of the ladders, and there were a lot of ladders. So I don't know if that was quite the right call. So we just kept working on things as we found them, but by 23 minutes, it's not quite as filled in as some of the other pairs up front. Where does this even go? Me with every single part of this puzzle.
Yeah. Where?
And then here's where we were when Connor and Josh won. I don't want them. You keep them. Oh my god. Oh my gosh, I jumped a million miles.
Yes, me too.
So at that point, it was cheer after cheer as we kept placing things and trying to get them attached to each other.
So many finishers.
I know. I mean, it's just going to be nonstop now. You're doing really great, and I'm really happy to puzzle with you.
Are you?
Yeah. But over the next 8 minutes, we made a lot of progress. The pirate ship actually came together pretty easily, so I should have started there. So at 37 minutes, we just had little bits to fill in all over the puzzle. This is my least favorite type of speed puzzle now, just busy everywhere.
Busy.
But we powered through, and we got there in the end.
Oh my god.
Done.
Oh my god.
40 minutes. That was hard.
This one was hard.
I feel like half the stuff on this picture I never even saw.
Me too.
We did it.
We did it.
Oh, good job, guys.
Yeah.
So I hope it didn't sound like I was complaining too much. I really do like this puzzle as a fun, slow puzzle. It's just trying to speed through it where I got very overwhelmed. So we ended up in 49th place out of 200 pairs. But speaking of those 200 pairs, it was nonstop finish after finish after finish. And even though the round was only an hour and 15 minutes long, the very last pair finished in plenty of time.
Woo! Oh my god, they finished!
Oh, that's so
Good
fantastic.
job.
So we cleared the room and every single pair finished their puzzle. So let's take a look at the top 20. Connor and Josh and Hannah and Caitlin were pretty far ahead, but after that, the finishes were one right after the next. And that's actually what I wanted to talk about with this chart of everyone. If you scroll through the official results on the website, you can see the difference in time between each successive finisher. And at the very beginning and the very end, we have some outliers, but those are the only times where there's more than a minute between a finish. Otherwise, multiple pairs were finishing every minute between 28 and 59 minutes. And there were also a lot of perfectly tied finishes all throughout. So there are just more and more fast puzzlers who come to these events, and everyone's times are getting closer together. So just one more chart, we can look at how this final puzzle compared to the prelim puzzles. And the top times were a little slower, but overall, it doesn't seem significantly harder. So after we finished, we got to meet Rose Khan and get our puzzle signed. And Yvonne actually brought the corners of some of her other puzzles and had Rose sign those right under the signature that was printed on the puzzle. And I just think that is such a good idea. So after that, we had a short break, and then it was time for the individual final. And the puzzle we got was not what anyone was expecting. All right, we're about to start the individual final. Big news, breaking development. So they've been going around telling everyone not to touch the bags, but we can look at it from the side. The boxes are tall and they're not the dimensions of the standard 500. So we're starting to think it might be a round puzzle. That's gonna mix everything up. Can you even imagine? I mean, I don't think anyone practiced round puzzles. I know I didn't. Everyone is saying they didn't. So, I mean, we'll see. Maybe it's a new Circle of Colors series. I would like that. You can see the corners right there. It's not, I'm not touching, I'm pointing.
Are you ready to puzzle?
Oh my gosh, we're about to start.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, puzzle!
Oh, it's round. It's round. Oh my gosh, what am I doing? Okay, so this is the puzzle we got, and sure enough, it's a circle. I don't think anyone was expecting this for an individual round, and a lot of people have been doing drills and memorizing the rectangle piece cut, so throwing a round puzzle in here could really mix things up, especially since this isn't like some of the Circle of Colors images, where the design is broken out into wedges or rings. Instead, it's just a normal image, but put onto a round puzzle cut. So it'll be really interesting to see everyone's strategies, especially since the front row is stacked with incredible puzzlers. So at 7 minutes, we can see that Hannah Doyle has the edge done and that little bit of sky filled in. Next to her, Alice doesn't have the whole edge connected, but she also has those bright sky pieces done. And Irina has the edge and actually started with some of the flowers. Meanwhile, I was having some space management issues, but I'm going to show you my full solve after I show you all of the really fast people.
This is probably the most intense competition for puzzlers.
Yeah, it's definitely the most intense and the most stressful, because with pairs and teams, you have someone there with you, like absorbing some of that, but solo is intense.
When you're doing a puzzle this quickly, you don't want to get stuck. You want to have things that just kind of naturally are flowing. And so as you're kind of strategizing in your brain, you're having to make those decisions really quickly of like, what am I going to focus on? What am I going to grab? And and then try to stick with the plan so that you're not kind of
But know when to
running
cut off
over.
the plan too.
Right.
There's a fine balance of like, okay, this strategy isn't working. Gotta try the next thing.
Okay, so at 15 minutes, we've seen Grayson not do the entire edge before, and once again, they started from one side and are just building their way out. Meanwhile, Alice and Hannah Doyle are both kind of working in from the edges, and once we look at the overhead, we can actually see that Grayson does have some of the flowers at the bottom done, and has already done a lot of sorting. And on the other side of the table is last year's champion, Kelly Walter, who has a lot of the pieces placed geographically. At the next table, Amber and Shay both have the edge done, but Amber started working on the bridge, while Shay gathered a lot of the flower pieces. And then at the fourth table, with the overhead shot, Kathy's looks similar to the other puzzlers, but Hannah Sigler started with the entire bridge, which is a strategy we haven't seen from anyone else up there.
You have to have intense focus. Mental game is so important in this, to be able to just fix your focus on that puzzle for at least a half hour. I think we're looking at here. That takes effort. That is mental stamina and physical stamina, honestly.
Yeah. It's like any race. It's not over till it's over.
Right.
And you have to have that mental toughness to get you all the way to the end.
Hundreds of people in here watching this competition, but it is quiet as a library in here right now. You're going to catch us almost whispering while we're talking because I don't want to be disturbing puzzlers.
So, as we're passing 30 minutes, everyone is making some real progress and all catching up to each other, even though some people took different paths to get there. But as the minutes ticked by, it soon became clear that it was Alice who was pulling into the lead.
Oh my gosh, here we go. What's interesting, she hasn't done the bridge yet. So she's doing the bridge last. We've seen a lot of other people that tackle
I feel like
first.
that might go okay though, because
I
you're
think
about
so
to have things that you have those little tips of color on the end that help guide you. She's going to be sub 40 easy.
Yeah, she's going to be sub 40 for sure.
Oh, and it gets stressful.
Yeah,
because
it's
you
stressful.
can start to feel everyone around you.
But because nobody's done anything yet, we haven't heard a cheer, we haven't heard it, so you know, like, okay, all I got left is these last few pieces, and it's heartbreaking if somebody were to finish right now when you're just right down to the wire. So I think we're looking at a repeat champion here. There it is.
So, Alice Rowe is our new national champion and the first ever two-time American individual champion. 2 years ago, she went from the back row to being the winner, and today she did it again. That is an amazing accomplishment. So after she finished, it became a race to see who would join her on the podium. So this was the second year in a row that Hannah Doyle finished for second, which is also an incredible accomplishment. And then Irina finished for third, literally 18 seconds later. And 28 seconds after her, Kelly Walter got fourth. And at that point, the floodgates opened and everyone started finishing, one right after the next. But now let's rewind so I can show you what I was doing back at my table. So when I did my flip, I definitely did not leave enough room for the puzzle because the round puzzles are bigger than the rectangle ones. So when I was working on the edge, I didn't have enough space to put it all together. So at the beginning, you can see I pulled the very center because those pieces are easy to spot. And then I started working on the sky. And I mean, at the beginning here, I felt like I was going really fast. The different elements in this illustration were easy to separate and place geographically. So at 9 minutes in, I was feeling really good about this. I was having fun. I was having a great time. However, then I spent several minutes building out the sky, and I wonder if it would have been better to jump straight into some of those flowers, which are smaller, more distinct sections. So at 20 minutes, I definitely felt myself slowing down a little. And I still didn't have the whole edge connected yet. So over the next 15 minutes, this is really the key time in the 20s and early 30s where you need to be racing forward to be up at the top. And I was making progress, but I didn't want to do the bridge and I didn't want to do the dark water. So I spent that time just filling in everything else around the edges. And so here's where I was when Alice won. So at that point, it just became cheer after cheer, and I did decide to tackle the bridge because at least the pieces were bright and I could see what was going on. So I had that pretty much finished at 50 minutes, but now you can see that all of the pieces that are left are pretty dark. And I never got totally stuck. I was always putting pieces in, but I had a lot of glare on those dark pieces. So I ended up just standing up so that I could look straight down on them. So the minutes ticked by as I tried to finish those last pieces, but I did manage to finish in under an hour. All right, that was hard, but I think I liked it. And I also just want to give a shout out to my table mate, Amy. She told me that she was live streaming her solve, but only to her parents, which I think is so sweet. So the room was definitely clearing out, and the time limit was 90 minutes. So in the next half hour, people kept finishing one right after the next, and once again, every single person finished their puzzle with plenty of time to spare.
I think we're going to be done 10 minutes before this competition's over. I feel like every year the competitions are going to get shorter and shorter. Hallie. Yes! I love that. That reaction. Just
so
fantastic. There it is, you guys, at 1:23.
Oh, she's playing it up, and I'm here for it.
I love it so much. That's fantastic.
So my time of 58:23 put me in 78th place, which was a big step up from my table number, which was 105. And I liked the puzzle. I'm happy with my solve. It wasn't as fast, obviously, as some people, but I never got totally stuck. And I don't think I made any huge mistakes. I did say to someone afterwards that I wished I had done the bridge earlier, and they replied saying they wished they had done it later. So who knows? My main issue was really just the glare on that last handful of dark pieces, but I'm sure that everyone in the room was dealing with that. And I kind of liked that they mixed it up by giving us a round puzzle. What I actually think would be really interesting would be if they debuted a brand new piece cut at one of these competitions, one that none of us have ever seen before, because a lot of people are memorizing the rectangle piece cut, and this circle cut is the exact same cut as all of their other circle puzzles. So a brand new piece cut, that would really mix things up. But now let's take a look at the data. So here is the top 20. And you can really see just how far ahead Alice was. She was the only one to finish in under 40 minutes. And then here's everyone. So once again, everyone finished. And I think this was a good difficulty where it was just about half and half who finished under versus over an hour. And once again, these times are so close together that you have tons of people finishing every minute. In fact, if I had finished 5 minutes faster, I would have been in 41st place. And if I was 5 minutes slower, I would have been in 119th place. And then we can see how this puzzle compares to the prelim puzzles. And it was a little slower, but not significantly slower. All 5 of the puzzles are pretty even. So I think the organizers did a great job picking individual puzzles that are all around the same difficulty level. So that was it for the individual final. We all had a little bit of a break, and then it was time for the very last event of the competition, the teams final. Okay, so after how intense the individual final is, the team's final is always a little more fun. For this round, we have 3 hours to do 2 1,000-piece puzzles back to back. But we already had a little hint about what we'd be getting because they had announced Steve Reed as a featured artist at the event. But we were at the last round of the competition and we hadn't seen anything from him yet. So we all knew that a new puzzle from him would be in one of the bags. So he does this cozy series of nice cozy locations that you just want to hang out in. But he's also done fantasy illustrations. So we didn't know exactly what we'd be getting, but I was really hoping for a new cozy puzzle. Oh, here we go! Woo! Do it! Oh my gosh, this is it. Last event, last event.
5,
We got this, we got this.
3, 2, 1.
Oh, it's cozy, it's cozy!
Oh my gosh,
it's a cozy puzzle! It's a puzzle! It's a puzzle! I mean, there's a puzzle in the puzzle.
Love it, Meta.
So here it is, our new cozy puzzle from Steve Reed. I think this is such a great teams puzzle because there are a lot of different elements to separate out, and it's not a super hard one. So we're definitely gonna see some fast times. So while I started working on the edge, let's see what everyone else is up to. Here, it looks like we have the entire team working on the edge together, and then Kelly did a lot of sorting. And sorting is honestly as important as everything else, because if you don't have the pieces you need, you can't put things together, and you waste a lot of time looking for missing pieces. Then at the next table, we can see 3.5 men in some snazzy new shirts. So they'll always be easy to spot, and they already have little bits of the sky done and put in place. I think every single team is going to have someone working on that sky because it's just such an easy thing to sort out. Meanwhile, I finished our edge at just over 11 minutes. Okay, I have all the edge pieces in. We're missing at least one. Oh wait, can we start with the sunset
So you want
pieces?
this one?
Yeah.
I started putting them together for you.
Yeah,
And
I
then
just wanna
there's a
get them
little
in
bit of the
place.
fireplace. You're good. I figured that way I could get some started and then we could work from there.
Yeah, this looks great. Shout out Zakco puzzle boards.
There you go. Yeah, thank you. Okay, I'm gonna call it on this. Can I come in really quick? Ready? 1, 2, 3, come in. There you go. Oh, fireplace.
Typically, this would be one of those nice, relaxing, like chill puzzles, but that is not the vibe today, obviously. These folks are going to speed through this as fast as possible.
This is really exciting. I think several of these teams are going to be able to chew through this one really quickly. We might see a couple of teams get this down around the 36-minute line. I'm gonna throw that flag.
You're throwing it
into
down
the
there.
ground.
Oh my gosh, there's just piles of all the pieces I needed right in front of me.
Oh, yeah. I just ordered it for you. Yeah.
Thank you for these presents. So we're definitely doing well, but at 26 minutes, if we cut back to the top teams, suddenly they pretty much only have that darker fireplace section still to go. So now it's a race to see who will be the first team to switch over to the second puzzle.
This is going to be really, really exciting because this is where that team dynamic of shot calling, making sure that you're trusting the people around you, making sure that the sort looks good, really comes into play.
Look at that. So now they're all of a sudden they're just down to the last few
And
pieces.
now it becomes a game of can you get your hands
Yes.
around your partners? Are you
Right.
going to be running into each other? Right.
Oh, there
and
they
there's
go.
the Juggernuts. Where's the transition?
Juggernuts.
Trifold into the bucket, an extra sweep, and now they can start the next one. That was an excellent transition that took maybe about 4 seconds total. So smooth
Yes,
on that.
so
and 3.5
smooth.
men just behind them.
Right,
They just finished.
just behind
and
them.
here we can see the transition. A little bit of a stumble, and that's what I was talking about earlier, where those little transitions you can add about 3-4 seconds, but you can make that up in a flip.
So the top teams switched over at just 33 minutes. The third team to switch was the Whimsy Pieces. Right after them were Girls in Stemp, and they had a piece missing, which luckily they found. Next to switch was Puzzles for 500, and then M&M. And all 6 of those switches happened within 2.5 minutes of each other, so no one had a huge lead going into the second puzzle. Meanwhile, I left off with our team at about 24 minutes, and we just raced through that right side of the puzzle. Just like all the other teams, we left the dark fireplace until last, but here's where we were when the first team switched.
Okay, that's not bad.
Guys, we're so close. We're doing really well. So we just kept powering through, and by 40 minutes, we were down to just the last little bit. Oh,
Whoops, sorry guys.
That's the piece I need. I got it. There it is. Okay, this side's done.
Okay, someone get the box. Next box. Box bottom. Done. I know that was
It's
really
okay.
messy.
It's okay.
Squish. Squish and shove.
Woo!
That's super pretty.
Oh my gosh, it's so pretty! Oh,
Karen, by you.
So we ended up being the 16th team to switch at 42 minutes. And then we immediately got started on the second puzzle, which is this bright beach and seashell scene. I immediately was so excited that there was sky for me to do. So after we finished flipping, I did just the sky edge while Jessica worked on the rest of the edge. And her part was definitely harder than my section.
There you go, buddy.
Perfect. Okay, edge is done.
Well, top edge
Never
is
mind,
done.
top edge is done. How are you doing? Are you okay?
It's got to get done.
But now let's rewind and see how the top teams were tackling this puzzle during the time when we were finishing the first puzzle. So before we even switched over, 3.5 men had the edge pretty much done, and some of the most recognizable objects in place. The Jiggernauts have Jessa working on the sky, and by 43 minutes, she also has the horizon line done. So now she just has 3 rows to fill in, and 3.5 men have both Josh and Matt on the sky. It totally makes sense to knock that out quickly since the pieces are so different from everything else.
I think that a lot of these puzzlers are tuckered out from a long weekend of puzzling, so having something that's bright and colorful must feel like such a relief for them. I think it's going to be pretty tight. It's going to come down to the individuals trust each other to do a little bit of sorting rather than everybody getting a little, I sometimes call it hero mode, where you have to be the one to solve it. You have to be the one to do this. Being able to trust the people around you to work on different projects and having that communication to know who's going to do what is huge at this point.
Okay, so as we're getting close to an hour, the top teams are almost done. The girls in STEMP haven't done the bottom edge, which is interesting, but everyone has the most colorful shells put together and connected. So now it's time to see who can speed through those sand pieces the fastest and become the fastest puzzle team in America.
Whenever you run out of options, the next option that's left is, can you get into the shape? Can you overlap different lenses at the same time to see something a little bit different, even if it's only one piece?
These are the harder bits left. They're maybe very similar in color, so it might be just a little bit harder.
Oh, wow. Which team is this? Is the Jiggernauts. They're probably down to the last 50, maybe 75 pieces or less.
I think we're getting so close here.
They are cooking right now. They're down to the last 3 pieces. Here we go. The last one. Hands up. Congratulations.
There it is. There it is, everybody. Your championship team, the Jiggernauts.
So the Jiggernauts are our new national champions. They finished 2 1,000-piece puzzles in just 1 hour and 5 minutes, which is so incredible. Woo! So then it was 2 minutes later that 3.5 men finished for second. And a minute after them, Puzzles for 500 finished for third. And then the finishes just kept coming in. And now, for the last time, back to our team. I left off with us at 50 minutes, with me starting to work on the sky, and I loved this part of the puzzle. I was having a great time doing my own thing while everyone else sorted out the bottom part. So I had finished the sky and was working on the ocean, when the Jiggernauts won.
Whoa. No, that's awesome. It's okay. We're doing
I'm so
great,
curious
guys.
who it is. So I was really only focused on the blue pieces, but I am so impressed with my teammates for how quickly they got the shells in place, because I did this puzzle on my own here at home, and that part where everything is overlapping each other is not easy. So it was an hour 11 until I had to start working on those two. I haven't looked at the bottom of this puzzle at all. So by this point, everything left was pretty much just different shades of brown and beige, because everything else is harder.
Oh my gosh.
So now in comparison, this is fine. So we did end up shape sorting with kind of a lot of pieces left, but I really think doing that when we did just helped us race through the end of this puzzle.
Trying to be like smart about when I'm putting pieces in.
Okay.
There's one more piece. There's one more piece.
Done. 126. Nice job. Under an hour and a half. Good job, guys.
Thank you for your work.
Well, thank you for
Thank you
your
for
sorting.
your work.
You're cheerleading. I mean, if you weren't sorting, we would have no pieces to put in. So we ended up in 13th place, which I am so happy with and proud of. We were the 16th team to switch. So that means that we made up 3 spots in the second puzzle, and we got 10th in our prelim. So we were seeded 20th. So we beat our seed by 7 spots. But my only goal for this year was to make the finals and have fun. And we definitely accomplished both of those. So once again, it was finish after finish. The round was 3 hours long, but as that time limit approached, there were only a handful of teams left, and all of them were getting close.
Even the 100th place of our teams here is still, like, compared to the average human population, this is remarkable.
Yeah, it's so impressive. You can tell they're not too stressed. They're having a good time. They're like waving.
As it should be.
Chanting has begun.
There's 4 pieces remaining. They are clapping. They are bringing them in. Are they keeping under the 2 hour 45 minute line? I think they're going to do it. We've got 2 hour 44 and 31. There it is!
That is fantastic.
I love the enthusiasm.
Congratulations. We have cleared the room.
We have cleared the room.
Nationals team's final competition.
15 minutes to go, everybody, and we have cleared the room. The Nor'easters coming in. Table 100. Congratulations, everybody. Woo!
So that means that every single person finished in all 3 final rounds. I think that's a testament to how good everyone has gotten in these competitions and what good puzzle choices there were, because nothing was frustratingly hard and everyone who made the finals got to finish. All right, so now let's look at the data. Once again, we can see that first puzzle line kind of moving in and out because some teams were much faster at one puzzle than the other. Using my team as an example, we were 16th fastest on the first puzzle, but 11th fastest on the second puzzle. Although the Jiggernauts were the fastest on both puzzles, so they were solidly in the lead. And then looking at everyone, it is so satisfying to see a chart like this where everyone finished both puzzles. And the majority of the teams also finished each puzzle in under an hour. So if we compare the 2 final puzzles against each other, they actually mix pretty evenly. So I think these puzzles were about equal difficulty, and we can compare them to the prelim 1,000-piece puzzles, and those, the Abandoned series, were definitely harder, especially that theater puzzle. So we got to go meet Steve Reed and get our puzzle signed, and then that was it for the competition. All that was left was to give out the awards. So you might have been wondering this whole time, what are the prizes? What do you win for being one of the fastest puzzlers in the country? Well, first through 10th place in each round got puzzle piece trophies, including a fancy new design for the individual champion. And they also got a gift bag of Ravensburger puzzles. And there was a cash prize for the first place winner in each category. So it's $1,500 for individual, $1,000 each for pairs, and $750 each for teams. Now, unfortunately, Nationals this year happened on the same weekend when there was a lot going on with the TSA, and there were long lines at the Atlanta airport. So a lot of people had to leave for the airport right after they were done with the team's final. So some people weren't there for the award ceremony, but a huge congratulations to our 10th through 4th place teams. Then puzzles for 500 were third, 3.5 Men were second.
And let's hear it for our new national champions, the Jiggernauts.
Next were the Pairs Awards. So again, a huge congratulations to 10th through 4th place. Kelly and Jessa came in third. Caitlin and Hannah Doyle were second.
And finally, our first place pair goes to Josh Traeger and Connor. Congratulations.
And finally, for individual, a huge congratulations to everyone who won a trophy. This is probably the hardest event to make it up there. So Irina came in third, Hannah Doyle came in second.
Our 2024 national champion, returning in 2026 for the first place, Alice Rowe. Come on up.
And so I also just want to point out that now that Alice is in college in California, the top 3 puzzlers were all from the Bay Area in California. That's why every year I say that out of all of the state championships, the California one is the most competitive and the hardest one because we just have so many fast puzzlers here. Also, Alice won this competition with a broken foot. Maybe having a broken foot is good luck in puzzle competitions. That's a joke. This is just a coincidence. Nobody go out and injure yourself. But before I go, there's actually one more award that I wanted to mention. For the last couple of years, the JPA has created the Puzzling Hall of Fame, where every year they honor someone who has contributed to the community and the speed puzzling world. In 2024, it went to Tammy McLeod, who was instrumental in creating the USA JPA and had stepped down from her role that year. In 2025, it went to Jonathan Clough, who runs online contests through his site speedpuzzling.com. And this year, it went to me.
Whenever talking about the community, this person always makes sure to reflect the community in a positive light. Even when things happen here or there where they have a chance to say something maybe a little less positive, they focus on the positive because they know how wonderful this community is. This person is so influential that when we ask, how did you find out about us? This person's name is on there. By the lot. Gateway drug to speed puzzling, TikTok puzzling, Karen Pella!
So here it is. Here's the award. So I spend a lot of time sitting on the computer making and editing these videos. And even when I publish a video and see all the comments, it's still just words on a screen. So it was just really nice to have all of that work acknowledged and celebrated in person. They actually asked me ahead of time if I wanted to say something when they gave me the award, but I was just so emotional in the moment that I just couldn't. So here's what I would have said. I started this channel because I thought I had some interesting things to say about how to solve a jigsaw puzzle, and I really did think about whether I wanted to make this content, because puzzles have always been the thing that is the most intrinsic and innate within me. So I really did think about if I wanted to share it with the world or keep it private just for me. And I was also worried about losing my love for puzzles if I threw myself into it too much. But that definitely hasn't happened. After all these years, I've never lost my love for puzzles. If anything, it's only grown the more puzzles that I do and share with the world. And it just goes to show what can happen when you share your passions with the world in an authentic way. And so, to wrap this up, this event is all about the community and how our shared love of puzzles has just brought us all together.
This is such a sweet, welcoming community. Like, somebody can just show up here on like this weekend and not know a soul and leave with like 10 new best puzzle friends. It's such an easy thing to just sit down and do a puzzle with someone and chat, and then, you know, be exchanging info, and before you know it, you're competing together. And I love when we hear stories about people that meet here, puzzle together for the first time, and then do unexpectedly well and just have a great time.
Yeah.
It's so rewarding.
What's his name?
Kermit.
Kermit. Hi, Kermit. Kermit, are you ready to puzzle?
Does get up on the table. He's of no help.
We did something new this year, so we make like the signs people hold up at the, you know, photo booths. This year, instead of making one that like said first, second, we just made one that said I finished the puzzle.
That's the thing.
For me, it's like that's the main goal of probably 90% of the people in this room. If you're watching this and you're like, well, I could never do that because I'm not good enough or whatever, it's like, no, that's not the goal. Like, the goal is to come and be in a room with 200 other people that love jigsaw puzzles as much as you do. Yeah. And like can't wait to do a new one that's never been seen before and be like, I get to take that home with me. I love puzzles. You know, that's really what it's about. All 100 teams have finished the first one. So
everybody's done on the first 100?
Everybody's done on the first one.
Let's go! I just get so excited to see the support that these puzzlers give each other, because it's never the case that somebody finishes alone at these competitions. There's always other people there that are cheering you on, excited to bring you in over the finish line, regardless of if you're in first place or if you come in at the end of the heat. We're excited that you're here and you're doing a great job.
In a world where you open up the news and constantly see the worst of humanity, the puzzle community shows us the best of humanity. It shows us teamwork and kindness and community and hard work. And putting on this event is a lot of hard work. This is the 4th US Nationals and the biggest one yet. This is a full-on legit puzzle convention now. Like, now we can easily fill up these huge conference center rooms. But with that comes a lot of tasks that you might not immediately think of, and the board and all of the volunteers work together to make it happen, you know, mostly seamlessly.
Thank you, Zakco. Wonderful table dividers yet again. They were excellent and so swanky now that they're adjustable.
What do you keep in there? Stickers. I thought it would be like pencils.
Over here.
Oh.
And even though they expanded it and they opened up 800 spots instead of just 600, there was still a long wait list. So it's only gonna get bigger and better.
The popularity of speed puzzling has just propelled people into new heights of being able to just attain cuckoo bananas times, to put it in a fun way.
That is the technical term. Yeah,
I think that is the technical term.
Can I just quickly say you have all done an amazing job this weekend.
Oh, thank you.
The seminars, the areas for people to puzzle, like it's been such an incredible event. I've hardly watched a lot of the speed puzzling because I've been too busy doing everything else.
This is kind of our dream vision come to life. I think if we were to look at what we would have wanted to do from year one, this is it. It just took us a little while to get here, right?
So I want to say a huge thank you to the JPA board, including new board member Jessica. Of course, thank you to all the volunteers, the convention center staff, the live stream crew, also to my camera person for the weekend, Kaija, who was filming for me down in Atlanta, and my sister Katie, who did her spreadsheet magic to help me make all of the charts all throughout this video. And to all of you who came up to say hi in Atlanta or just decided to click on this video sitting at home. But back to the puzzles. Here you can see the complete collection from this year's competition. So let me know down in a comment which one you would most want to solve. Your code word for the comments will be cozy. And if you want to compete next year, I've heard that they should be releasing the dates and location for Nationals 27 very soon. So as soon as I know what they are, I'm going to put that info down in the pinned comment right down below. So thank you for watching and happy puzzling.